Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday, the 17th day of March 2025. I hope you're safe and healthy. I hope you enjoyed your weekend and that your family is safe and healthy and that you enjoyed your weekend with them and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are doing their best to save lives, and those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and those perverts that create such demands that cause these industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, veterans, on the streets, homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There's going to be a basketball game tonight at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks are going to be taking on the Miami Heat. Madison Square Garden. Tonight, I believe the game is at 7:30. Right now, the Knicks are third in the East, as they have been most of this part of the season. I had been looking at 55 wins and top two in the East, but Cleveland definitely surprised me. And looks like the Knicks are battling, and they're pretty comfortable in the third seed right now. So, they'll be dealing with Miami, and this is not, listen, when you have Knicks Heat, this is a classic situation. Throw out the records. When you have Knicks versus Heat, throw out the records. They don't matter. It's always a battle. Ever since Pat Riley left the sidelines at Madison Square Garden to take the reins of the organization of the Miami Heat, and that was more than 30 years ago, there's been a strong hatred between Miami and New York. And Miami has been more successful. They have, since Pat Riley left the Knicks, they have won 3 championships. Okay, they have won 3 championships. And so they have built a culture there where they take players that you might not have ever heard of, like your Duncan Robinsons, and they turn them into NBA players that can ball, right? And so they're going to be dangerous. Now, they have listed Andrew Wiggins, who they got in the trade they got in trade with Golden State, that sent Jimmy Butler to the Warriors. So they get Andrew Wiggins, and he is listed as questionable for a lower leg injury, not more specific than that, but he's listed as questionable. Everybody else that they have now is available. Now, this is the thing. Khalil Ware is now the rookie out of Indiana, coached by Mike Woodson, is now in the starting lineup. Bam Adebayo is at the 4. Very similar to what we're looking at once Mitchell Robinson is prepared. They're going to have Mitchell Robinson at the 5, and you're going to have Cat at the 4. But for now, Mitchell Robinson's coming off the bench. But you got Khalil Ware, Bam Adebayo. If Andrew Wiggins is playing, he'll start at the small forward. Then you have Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero. They have a very nice bench, actually. Davion Mitchell, Terry Rozier, Scary Terry. They got the Sloth, Kyle Anderson, who is a Knick killer, moves in slow motion and always kills us. And then you got those guys. Alec Burks is not playing today. So you got Jaime Jaquez, Scary Terry, Davion Mitchell, and Kyle Anderson, the Sloth. You got all of them at 4. Now, the Heat's present situation is that they have lost 7 straight. They had a 5-game homestand, and they have and 5 in a row they lost on their home floor. Okay, and 2 games out on the road outside of that. This is right now coming to New York is the last game of a short road trip. They got beat by Memphis on Saturday night. This is the thing. When you have a team like the Heat, with a rivalry like they have against the Knicks, and they have lost 7 straight, they're not going to roll over and mail in the stats. That's not going to happen. They're going to come out like a wounded she-bear, okay? Like a wounded she-bear whose cubs are being threatened. And it was just like what we saw last week, only more so with mine, but we saw it last week against Sacramento. They had lost 4 in a row. And they come out like gangbusters to try to get this dub against the Knicks on their home floor. Fortunately, as you know, Mikal Bridges put an end to that dream, with that 3-pointer at the buzzer. But you're going to expect the same type of fight and scratching and clawing from Miami tonight. Especially it's going to be on the floor of Madison Square Garden, where everybody comes to ball because that's the Mecca. And of course, you still got Spo as their coach. You still got the culture, and that's what I'm saying. You can't just sleep on these guys. Not the Knicks. See, if they were playing against any other team, you might say, "Oh man, they probably get 8. They might lose their 8th in a row." But when they come into Madison Square Garden on a 7-game losing streak, and their pride is on the line, it's gonna be a battle. They're gonna be fighting. So tonight for the Knicks, of course, we know Jalen Brunson is out. So Jalen Brunson is out, but that's all good because Deuce has been balling. He's been really stepping up in place of Brunson and playing two-way basketball. Now, again, I want to stress, I'm not trying to say Deuce is making Brunson expendable. Some knuckleheads actually think like that, but no. What I am saying, though, is that the defense, since Deuce and Mitchell Robinson are in the lineup, the defense, everybody has noticed in terms of anybody looking at stats, anybody watching the team, it's on another level. The Knicks lost the game Saturday night, but nobody scored over 100 because the defense has brought to another level, as we expected that to happen. So now, for the Knicks, you're going to have Deuce starting at the point, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns. You're going to have Mitchell Robinson, Landry Shamet, Cameron Payne, and Precious Achiuwa as your bench crew. So that's the crew. So we're looking today for energy, Charlie Hustle, Josh Hart. We didn't get that this past Saturday in Golden State in San Francisco. We did not get that. I don't expect that to be a problem 2 days in a row from this cat. So you got Josh Hart needs to come in and be Josh Hart. We need Precious Achiuwa to be Precious Achiuwa, not 0.1 rebound Precious Achiuwa. We need somebody that's going to be out there doing business and getting boards and getting closing close to the basket, not airballing from the foul line. Okay? So we need that. And of course, we need all our regular cast of characters. Deuce to be Deuce, Mikal to be Mikal, OG to be the grown-ass man, and Gato to be Gato. We need all that. And of course, the continued resurgence or recovery or development of Mitchell Robinson. So we need that to continue. He was gassed Saturday night, but that was Saturday night. Let's not frame that as if it's a permanent problem. It's not. But let's hope now he comes to the next level. He's getting, actually, I've noticed that it's small incremental, but he has been getting a little bit by little bit back to his old self. He's getting his hands on a few more tips that he wouldn't have, and covering the ground a little bit quicker. He is doing it. It's just going to take a little time. Of course, when I say it's going to take a little time, that means it's going to take a little patience. And of course, in Knicks Nation, they don't even know how to look up the word patience, much less understand what it means. So, and everything is, in New York Knicks Nation, every problem is fixed with a trade. Anyway, somebody said we should trade Josh Hart for a better shooter. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, right? But this is what happens when you read diarrhea from Twitter. You start to pick up that diarrhea, you smell like it, and your comments smell like it. Anyway, so tonight the Knicks are taking on the Miami Heat. It's going to be a battle. We're expecting the Knicks to come out better than they did Saturday night, and that wasn't bad. Again, in San Francisco, it's not like they played badly. It's just that, they had a couple of guys not come up the way they were supposed to, and it cost us, okay? Deuce wasn't one of them because he was playing the toughest cover in the NBA. The toughest cover in the NBA is Stephen Curry. Tougher than Durant, tougher than anybody. He's the toughest cover. Why? Because any place from half court in, he can flick his wrist and put it in the basket, and does it consistently. He can flick his wrist and put it in the basket, and not even watch the ball go in, just turn around and walk back down the other side of the court because he knows it's going in. That's the dude. Greatest shooter in the history of the NBA. And Deuce caused that brother to be 8 for 20. Deuce takes up these challenges, okay? Matter of fact, Davion Mitchell, and Cade Cunningham. See, I don't know if one of y'all know, but they know all about Deuce. Oh yeah. When Davion Mitchell and Jared Butler was running to the Final Four at Baylor, they did have a bump in the road when they came to play West Virginia. And that bump in the road was Deuce McBride. Oh yes. And Cade Cunningham at Oklahoma State did have a bump in the road when they played West Virginia. And that bump in the road was Deuce McBride. What I love about this boy is that he takes defense as a challenge every single night. And if he's not balling, it's because he's hurt. But he's still trying. Tough as nails, boy. So the Knicks are favored 75% to 25%, but don't let that fool you. Don't think this is going to be easy. I don't want to which one. This should be an easy win. That would be stupid. This is the league. There are no easy wins. Okay? If you happen to play in the night and you blowing somebody out, okay. But don't come into the game thinking, oh, this is an easy win, because you will get your behind handed to you in the league. Let's get this win. Let's beat these boys behind. Let's stomp on them. Let's take their heart and do this. Get this done. Y'all enjoy the game. Enjoy your Monday. So